Hi. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, welcome to our Saturday stream. How y'all doing? My name is rbPlays. I am your humble host on this side of the screen. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending your Saturday morning with me. It is much appreciated. You guys have to tell me how the stream looks this morning. I did get the resolution fixed, so we are streaming in not 60 frames, and we are also streaming in not 4K or 1080 or whatever it was. We're streaming at 720 now because, you know, bothered maybe. If this is your first time here, glad to have you. Hang out for a little while, see if you like it, grab some snacks, pull up a chair, ask the questions, go back and look at all the old content that we had, see if you really like what we do around here. And if you do, then, I thought the ads were over already. Oh. Ads should have been over already. Interesting. Anyway, if you like what we do around here, then maybe consider hitting the old subscribe button. Get notified every time we go live, which is every Saturday, 9 a.m., right here on Twitch and YouTube. Huh, your ads were not over yet. Interesting. That is very interesting. I got all kinds of reflections in my glasses. I got new glasses, you guys. I got new glasses, and a reflection is, man, look at that. You can see me, seeing you, seeing me, seeing you, seeing me in my glasses. I don't know if I like that. If you really love the streams, then maybe consider supporting us financially. You can decide that later. There's multiple ways you can do that. You can become a Twitch subscriber right here on Twitch, and you can do that for for the low price of $5. Is it $5? It might be $8 now. I don't know. Just turn the monitors off. I don't know if that would work very well. I don't know if that would work very well. You can also hit the join button over on YouTube, become a channel member. And then of course there is our Patreon, patreon.com/RB_plays. All those things work. Links for all that are down there. So let's see here. What do we got to talk about today? What's on you guys is y'all's minds today? Ask away your questions. You ask questions, I will give answers. In the meantime, while we're possibly waiting on questions to come in, had a tree guy come out. Our yard is 100% trees. I mean, as 100% as a yard can be and not be a forest, right? The subdivision that we live in, we love the subdivision because it is very wooded. It's very quiet. It's very stream's lagging a bit for Diamond. Okay. Interesting. It says I'm transmitting at around 4,000 kilobits per second. So that's interesting. But I had a tree guy come out, and we're going to get some trees removed because they are part of the reason why our septic system failed in the backyard was because of some trees, and I don't want that in the front yard. And there's some trees that are in precarious positions. I counted about 12 that were just not in the best places. One of them hangs directly over the house, and that's no bueno. So I had this guy come out. One of my coworkers had them do about a dozen trees at their place and said they got a really good price and they did great work. And I was like, okay, well, we'll give them a call. I told my wife if they come in anywhere less than 7,000 for removing trees, that we would do it. That I'd give them the job, because every other person that I had only quoted them like half those trees, and they wanted double. They wanted double. Basically, this guy said, for those 12 trees, I'll charge you $4,000. I was like, whoa. I didn't want to be too excited about it because 12 trees at $4,000. That's pretty good. I said, okay, that sounds about where I wanted to be. It was definitely less than where I wanted to be, but it sounded about where I wanted to be. I said, can we talk about the backyard? Because, I came in way less than I was thinking. And we went around back and we counted 14 more trees that are in really precarious positions, right? And also there are things that we want to be able to do in the backyard that we just can't do right now because of how the yard is, right? So that being the case, we walked around the yard, we identified the trees, and I'm going to have 26 trees, and it's still going to look wooded in my yard. So fear not that there's going to be 26 less trees in my yard. It's still going to look very wooded out there. I'm going to have 26 less trees, and they're going to charge me $12,500 to do it. That's $480 a tree. That's actually a really good price. And so in just a couple of weeks, at the end of April, they will be out to choppa the trees down. And my yard will be better, and my house will be safer, and it's going to be great. Part of the problem is that in the wintertime, in the fall, the leaves fall and they get on the roof, and I've got no good way to get them down. I mean, obviously ladders and roof brooms and stuff like that. Like we do a good job of getting the leaves off of there, but it's a never-ending thing. There's leaves up there right now. There's leaves up there right now. And by getting rid of some of these trees that are absolutely over the house, we're going to get rid of that. Now, that's also going to cause us some heartburn when it comes to heating and cooling, specifically cooling. It is Georgia. It is coming up on summer. It's going to be 90 degrees next week. Well, almost 90, 86. So that being the case, our cooling bill may be impacted. But the next thing on the agenda, since we're in house renovation, house update mode, the next thing is a new roof. It's 90 already in Arizona. I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's gonna get it. It was already muggy this week. Like it was in the 80s this week, and it was unpleasant. But we're gonna we need to get a new roof put on the house. The roof is 30 years old, and it's showing signs of needing repair. I don't know if we want to. So you're allowed to go up to 3 layers. You're allowed to go up to 3 layers on your roof, and this is just the first. This is the original layer that was ever put on the house. I can't decide if I want to just shingle over, or if I want to do a strip and replace. I think shingle over is probably our best bet because that's going to last another 20 years. I think it'll last another 20 years. It might even be longer than that. How long does a 2-layer roof last? Yes. So 15 years, it says. Roughly 15 years, which is shorter than a single layer, but there's added weight, there's added heat trapping, premature wear, and structural issues. Gotcha. Okay, so may not be a great idea to do that. I don't know. Do you want to know what troubles you have under the shingles or not? I kind of do. So I have direct access to the attic. I have direct access to the attic. The roof is not leaking. And I have clear view of all of the roof rafters up. Roof rafter, that's hard to say. I have clear view of all the roof rafters, and it seems like everything is fine up there. We do have a lot of soffit and fascia issues, so that's going to have to get replaced. And then, of course, the roof as well. And then on top of that, and this is why I'm thinking single layer or just add a layer is gutters. I'm going to have to renew all the gutters on the roof too, because the gutters are in terrible shape. And then the next project that I've got after that is to dig up the drainage system for the gutters, because it's all underground drainage that drains to the side of the house. And it's packed with leaves and dirt and garbage from years of neglect. So I got to dig all that up and rerun it, because I can't clean it out. It's that corrugated pipe stuff, that plastic stuff. As soon as I try to run a big rotor-rooter kind of a thing through there, I'll just tear it up. So I just want to take it up and put PVC in the ground. I think that's what I want to do. Foaming root rot. Well, it's not really. So there may be roots in there. There may be roots in there, but I think most of it is just debris from the gutters. The gutters were not very well protected, and so things just got dumped down the gutters. When we first bought the house, I tried to clean them out a little bit, and it was I don't know, but I suppose there could be roots in there. Aw, look, it was a bot. Attaboy, Diamond. Attaboy, Diamond. You the bestest. So that's where we're at on the house. Trees come out in a couple of weeks. That's going to be great. And then we're going to have to put down grass. And I'm going to talk to the landscaping guy. This is a landscaping company that's coming to do the trees. And he says he can give me a good price on sod, which, you know, I'm not opposed to putting down grass seed and nurturing it myself, but I'm also not good at it. Like, I don't like yard maintenance. I don't like it at all. So, you know, pay somebody. My time is worth something, right? This is something that I'm having. Oh, it encourages. Oh, you know what? I actually need to get some of that anyway. The septic guys told me to put some of that in, to put some stuff in the septic at the clean out outside, just to make sure that the roots and stuff don't really start trying to penetrate the new septic field lines. So I actually need to get. They recommended Zep. Zep? I think it was Zep. That was a burp. Nope, that's not it. I don't know where it's at. I wrote it down someplace. It's right here. House stuff. Zep. Z-E-P. Zep root killer. They said it comes in granules, and to start running hot water in the house, and then as the water comes down through the clean out, to just kind of pour that in at a nice steady rate and let it get washed out into the septic tank and into the septic system. So, but if there's some foaming stuff, that could be helpful. That could be good too for all those for the drain lines We'll call them drain lines for the roof, for the gutters. What can we do, you guys? I'm gonna be a little bit random today. What can we do about this whole screen thing? Like, you guys can't see where my mouse is right now, but in the upper corners, especially on the right or the upper left corner and the lower left corner, you can see how the camera is kind of radiused and then it's black back behind there. I like the simplicity of how my stuff looks right now, but I feel like the black backdrop isn't great. I feel like it needs a little bit of color, and I don't know what color it needs. Maybe it needs one of the colors from the RB logo, like definitely not red. But there's that real subtle, like neon yellow or neon green in there. Maybe something like that. Not pink. Exactly, Darth. Not pink. Minecraft death screen. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. That could be cool. I'd have to kill myself and get a death screen. I don't have one of those handy. But that could be cool. Yeah. Speaking of Minecraft, look at this. Just look at this. Look at my damn skin. I restarted my computer this morning and everything. Look at my skin. I'm just AFK in the base, so it doesn't really matter. But why do I keep getting defaulted back to Alex? I even went into the skin selection and made sure that my RB skin was selected, and it was. Why am I Alex? Why does this happen to me, and why does no one know what I'm talking about when I tell them that this happens to me all the time? Like, I will go into the forums and I'll say, hey, this is happening to me, and I don't know what's going on here. I'm online. The skin servers are online. It's mildly infuriating. And yes, I do feel cute, Diamond. I do feel cute. But it is majorly infuriating. Grumble. Freaking grumble, growl, grumble. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why do these things happen to me? And even the people in my house are like, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean you don't know what I mean? Every time I log in, I'm freaking Alex. And I'm only running, right now, I am only running Minecraft on this computer. I'm not doing the whole dual PC thing right now because I'm just going to tell you this right now. The Bonobo, for as well as it does run, it's too freaking big. It's just too big. I don't regret buying it. You know, I got that computer back in 2015 or 17, somewhere in there. I don't regret buying it. But at the same time, I regret buying it because it's not convenient. I need a 16-inch laptop, roughly, thin. Honestly, I don't have it down here, so I can't show it to you. But the one that they gave me for work is pretty phenomenal. It's a Dell Precision 4030. That doesn't sound right. I looked it up once before, so it should be in my search history, yeah? Dell. It's a Dell Precision 5680. It's a Dell 5680. And it's a pretty nice laptop, but I can't use it. I can't put anything on it that's not work related. And it's kind of expensive. It's kind of expensive. Dell Precision 5680. How much is it? There's a 5690. Yeah, see, Dell Precision 5690 from 2023 is $2,500. That's that's too buku. That's too much. It's too many. It's too many. But it does have a lot of cool stuff in it. It's got a NVIDIA 4070. I think it's got a 4070 in it. It feels like it's 4070. And it does all the things. Like I do it for 3D modeling for the stuff that I make for training aids. I use it for running the 3D printer. I use it to run the CNC router at work. I use it to run all the things, and it does a phenomenal job. It does a phenomenal job. Mini form factors, but no built-in monitor or keyboard. Okay. So Bluetooth. You can just use Bluetooth stuff. USB or whatever. So USB, check this out. I acquired this. This is a USB monitor. It's a mini monitor, and I can hang it on the wall. I can do all the things with it. I want to use this in the wood shop. I want to use this in the wood shop for telepromptery type stuff. But we had a couple of these at work. They're made by Mimo, M-I-M-O. Had a couple of these at work that they were just getting rid of because they don't use them anymore. And I was like, well, if you're not going to use it, I'll use it. So, yeah. Slap a Raspberry Pi on the back and Bob's your uncle? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Why? No, I don't like that song. I didn't like that time. I didn't like that song. So I guess let's talk technology. What's new in the world of technology for y'all? Did anybody get AMD's new GPU? I know a couple of people were looking at it, but it's like $550. It's not, depends on your definition of pricey, right? Like the pricing is better than it has been in a while, but I can't drop $550 on a new GPU. It was hard enough getting the $300 that I needed for the 3050 that I've got now. I'm content running older hardware. Honestly, if you can find one. So I was wondering about that. I hadn't been following it in a little while, but it sounded like there was supposed to be a decent supply of them available, and I'm guessing that is not the case. So here's my question. Did they go to single-use users, or did somebody buy them in bulk? Or did AMD just fail to deliver? According to all the reviews that I was watching, they were supposed to be in warehouses ready for sale. But what do I know? I'm just a third-rate YouTuber and Twitch content creator, you know? If you can rank me as high as third rate. So I'm doing some AFK type thingies in the Minecraft world. Just so you all know where we're at here, I we made those seeds for the dragon eggs and the prismarine and the uranium essence for the fuel for the reactor. And we're up to 13 dragon egg essence and about 40 prismarine essence. And then lots and lots and lots, thousands of uranium essence, which is good. AMD had 10 times launch over launch the volume of sales in the first week. That soaks up a lot of inventory. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, let's give credit where credit is due. Let's give credit where credit is due. AMD, if all of the GPUs that they sold, if all the GPUs that they distributed are of the same quality or better than the ones that were being tested, then they absolutely hit this out of the park. 100% hit this out of the park. I'm using a baseball reference there because, it's baseball season. By the way, Cubs are 6-4. They're in first place in the National League Central, which is awesome. My ear itches. These things make my ear itch so bad sometimes. But I love them. That's annoying. My camera moves. If I bump the desk, my camera moves. I need to make that stop. But yeah, AMD absolutely nailed it on this one as far as performance goes. And maybe someday, on the secondary market, I'll find one and I'll buy one for myself. I do like AMD processors. I like AMD stuff. I'm not a huge NVIDIA fan. But that's my open source side coming in, right? Like I would much rather run an open source system. I'm running Windows here because I kind of have to, right? Between the streaming software that I use and some of the integrations that I have and all that stuff, Windows just works better, which is a painfully hard thing for me to say. Realize that we are talking about spending $550 on a GPU and not a whole system. That is absolutely 100% worth talking about. I remember when you could buy a computer for $600-700. Full 100%, monitor included, monitor, keyboard, mouse. You could buy a whole computer for $600 or $700. This computer that I have here, and thank you to all of you who over the years have contributed to this channel. The setup that I have here, it's probably $2,200 to $2,500. Probably $2,200 to $2,500. Running a 10-year-old system with a 770 Ti and it suits you just fine. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, like talking about the Bonobo that I've got, the laptop. Laptops are traditionally more expensive and I've got $1,700 in that laptop, right? But it works. And it works well, with the exception of a couple of things that are due to age, wear and tear. But it performs nicely. Like I don't have any complaints about it other than I can't really take it with me anywhere. It needs a new battery, which the batteries for that are easy to get. They're just snap-in batteries. You don't have to take the thing apart to replace the battery. So it needs a new battery. The port for the power cable on the back of the laptop it's cracked a couple of times. I've put it back together, but it doesn't hold the power cable in as well as it should, and so it falls out. And then, of course, since it needs a battery, as soon as the power cable falls out, it dies, right? But that's it. Like, that's... and it's heavy. I have a bag plenty big enough for it. I have a nice satchel-type laptop bag that we bought for that laptop when I got it. It's a really nice bag. So bag's not the issue, but it does need a new battery, and it probably could use some help for that port where the power plug plugs in, just so it holds it better. But it's heavy to carry. It's heavy to carry, and it takes up a lot of real estate on the desk. But it's a gorgeous machine. It's a gorgeous machine. I don't know if I can. I don't know if... So I got the laptop from System 76. They don't make it anymore. Because like I said, it's 8 or 10 years old, right? They don't make it anymore. And I don't know... I feel like it's an Alienware case. I feel like it's an Alienware case, but I can't confirm that. It looks Alienware. Why do I hear pillagers? I hear pillagers. I don't care. I'm inside. I'm safe. But yeah, like, I get what you're saying, Diamond. This race to the best equipment. This search for elusive performance. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing that you need 4K video? It's nice to look at. Mouser or DigiKey? Guarantee it's not proprietary. Okay. Mouser. Where's my there it is. Hello? Oh, there it is. Mouser. Oops. Mouser Electronics. Is that it? Electronic. There's DigiKey. Oh. I will have to look at this. So the other thing that's important to remember or to recognize about this problem is that it's like the port. I don't know if it's the port that's bad or if it's the plastic molded part around the port that's the big problem. I feel like it could be one or the other or both. I know a guy. When it comes to soldering, I know a guy. I can't solder to save my life, but I know a guy. Where's my chat window? There it is. I found it. JB Weld for the plastic? Yeah, could do that. I also have a 3D printer at work. You probably couldn't understand a word I just said. It's possible that I might be able to 3D print something too. Maybe. I will. I would like to make that better. Because I do love the computer. I mean, I do love it. I just wish it wasn't so damn heavy. You know? Just wish it wasn't so doggone heavy. But those are good ideas. I did not know about it. Why do I keep closing that? That was dumb. Don't close that. You kind of need that. Keep that right there. That's fine. DigiKey. The other thing is, I wonder if it is a content opportunity for sure. I've been struggling with ideas for content lately. I feel like none of my ideas are good enough. You know, and maybe that's YouTube content creator mental anguish or whatever. I do have an idea for a woodworking video. I have a couple ideas for a woodworking video. I have a few ideas for episodes on the gaming channel. It's just so hard. It's just so hard. I know that sounds really dumb for those who maybe don't do content creation, but finding the time. We all get 24 hours a day, right? And you have to decide what's important. I was just having this conversation with Beholden, my son, the other day. We all get 24 hours in a day. Rise of the Drawbox Part 2. This time it's personal. Yeah. Power. Battery products, circuit protection, line protection, power supplies, transformers. I just don't know. I will figure this out, though. What are we listening to now? What song is this? Where's Pretzel? Nighttime Balcony. I guess it's not terrible. What do we think? Upvote or downvote this song? It's kind of a chill vibe, I guess. Wow, I told you we were going to be all over the place today, and I have not let you down in any way, shape, or form. We have been all over the roadmap this morning. And my ear itches again. I think there's something in there. Might be my finger. I'm frozen on your screen? How am I frozen on your screen? Gobo, sit up like you're supposed to be. Good there. Twitch? Seems fine. Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. Weird. I mean, it seems to be... I don't know. So, let's have this conversation, I guess. Let's have this conversation. What do you guys think of Meld Studio? So I made changes to the bitrate and the frames and the aspect ratio, you know, all that. And I don't think it helped. So here's what we're going to do. Next week, for next Saturday's stream, we're going to stream from OBS and see if we have any issues then as well. There is one other possibility here, and I don't think it's this. But let me make sure real quick. Let me do oops, that is definitely not how you spell that. Let me do a speed test real quick. No, it's not my connection. My connection's fine. Yeah, and I will say this. I will absolutely say this. The look and the feel of the UI from a streamer's perspective is phenomenal. There are things that I can just make this do natively that I cannot do in Twitch. All of this transition stuff that you guys see, like if I do this again, I can't do that. I can't do that in OBS. But here it's native, right? And to your point, Diamond, it does have an excellent look to it. It has an excellent feel to it. Yeah, I do have the Meld Discord. And I do when I have time, I do go in there and just kind of look around and see what other issues people are reporting. But I think maybe it needs to go. I think maybe it needs to go back burner for me for now. And yeah, you're right, Diamond. I need to post the issues that I'm having. And maybe it's just no, that shouldn't be it. I get 10 megabits upload from my ISP. And I'm using about 6. I'm using about 6 right now. So, and that's, it varies between 3,000 and 4,000 for Twitch, for each of Twitch and YouTube. That might be part of the problem. But I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't have these issues with OBS. You also don't have these issues with OSB. I have very few issues with OSB, as a matter of fact. I like OSB. I would totally build all of my shop cabinets out of OSB if I could get my hands on some OSB. Speaking of shop cabinets, man, I need a bunch of shop cabinets. My shop is a disaster. I have no place to put anything. And like that's a perfect content creation opportunity. I just haven't been able to do anything, and I haven't been able to buy anything because of all the crap we've been doing with the house. But I did talk to Mrs. RB. And I told her I need to make a couple of cabinets. And I think she's on board with it. I also can't decide. Well, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, I got to make some cabinets. I could just buy them, but where's the fun in that? But yeah, to your point, I don't have this problem with OSB or OBS. I don't have this problem with OBS. OSB, God, now you got me doing it, Diamond. Crap. You had to say OSB, didn't you? OBS seems to just work. It seems to just work. So next week we're going to be in OBS for a week, and just to test the difference. I was cautiously optimistic about this week's stream because I'm not doing any gaming content this week, right? I'm not doing any gaming content, and so I didn't think that it would necessarily be as taxing on the software. Also true. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot of stuff that I have done or am doing in the wood shop right now that is never going to be content. It's never going to be content. I would love to make everything content because everything is content. Just ask Critical Role. But at the same time, ain't nobody got time for that. I've even thought over the last couple of weeks, like, is it still worth it? Is it still worth it to create content in 2025? Maybe this is a conversation that people need to be having, right? In the early days of YouTube, if you were a founding YouTube person, it was very easy for you to get content out there and get it seen and get tons and tons of views. And then they monetized it. And people started making a little bit of money doing it. And they started talking about, hey, I'm a YouTube content creator, and I make money doing this. And people are like, well, I can do that. And then they get on the platform, right? Now there are hundreds of thousands of creators creating the same stuff, fighting for views. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's worth it. You know, I do it because it's fun. I do it because it's fun. I have never, I wrestle with myself a lot on, the aspect of making, yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point, Diamond. Are you trying to make the content to get rich? Why did you start making content? Has that changed? That's the exact point that I was just getting ready to get to. I started making YouTube videos because I thought that sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. And then people started watching my content. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I've never made a lot of money doing this content creation thing. I think the most I've ever made from YouTube is a couple $100 a year. Like maybe 300 a year. So obviously it's not about the money. I'm not trying to get rich. I just like to share things. And so for me, the question isn't, do I continue to make content? I think the answer to that question is yes. I think the answer to that question is yes. Where I struggle is my content entertaining? Obviously, a handful of you think that it is. But if it's not entertaining, then it just takes up space. And it's YouTube space. I mean, YouTube and Twitch. But even Twitch has made changes to that. I don't know if you guys have known this or not, but Twitch has started to purge old archives of stream replays, of VODs. If I look at right now, content. Is it content? I think it's content. Content video producer. April 19th, 2025, we are introducing a 100-hour storage limit on highlights and uploads. This limit does not apply to past broadcasts. Less than 0.5% of streamers exceed 100 hours, and this content account is less than 0.1% of hours watched. So, my mistake. They're not deleting VODs, but they're making it so you really can't upload content to watch for your people. They're basically saying this ain't YouTube, right? Not that I've ever really done that. I have uploaded content from YouTube to Twitch to make it available to the Twitch folks, but that's not going to be necessarily going to be a thing anymore. And I haven't done it in forever. So does it really affect me? No. Does it affect others? Yes. So I guess to sum it all up, am I going to be changing anything here? Probably not. We're going to do a live stream every week. I do want to get back to recording long form, 20, 30-minute content. I do want to get back to that. I'm just trying to figure out where my priorities are. And all of the stuff that's happening with the house right now, there's a reason for that. It's because a lot of the things that are happening to the house right now take up my time. If I can get rid of the things that cause the things to the house that take up my time, then my time becomes more available for other things. Would I love to get rich? Would I love to get rich doing this? Of course I would. Of course I would. I don't know that anybody, I don't personally know anybody that could say, I don't want to get rich doing this. So would I love to get rich doing this? Yes. Is that the goal? No. The goal for me is a release. My goal is to just make things. I like to make things. I like to tinker. I like to dabble. I like to figure things out. And if I can do that with people watching and people helping, that's fantastic. I feel like my headspace around this whole content creation thing as of late has been much better. I feel like it's been much better. I was listening to a woodworking podcast this week. It's Mark Spagnolo, Matt Cremona, and Shannon. I can never remember Shannon's name, but he runs the Reformation Woodworker on YouTube. But they were talking about content creator burnout. And basically all of them have gone through this whole burnout thing over the last year or two, and they're all coming out of it. But they're running into the same problem that I'm running into, and that is having the time to get into the shop to do the work, right? Or to get into the studio and do the work. I think I'm out of the burnout phase. How many people have you met in person that have made it rich on YouTube? None. I have met 0. How many people have you personally met that have made a living as an electrician? Many. 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 I know many. I've trained thousands. I've trained thousands of people to make a living as an electrician. I'm actually doing electrical work. Like this is one of the things that's not going to make it as content, because I'm not going to put electrical content on my woodworking channel, but I'm running conduit in the garage right now. I had some conduit that was left over from a job that we did at the training center, and the maintenance guy was like, "If you need it, take it." Sure. I bought a couple of boxes, and I'm putting up conduit right now to run circuits in the shop so that I can move tools around and lay out my space better. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't already an electrician. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to do that. It includes bending conduit, offsets, 90s. I bent my first piece of conduit in 20 years. I bent my first piece of conduit in 20 years yesterday. And I was like, man, I still got it. I still got it. And I didn't have to put out a video for it. I didn't have to say, look at me. I made a video on bending conduit. No, I didn't have to do that. Now, there's absolutely nothing difficult about the conduit that I'm running in the garage. It's a couple of 90s and then mostly straight pipe between boxes. But it's still something that I know how to do, and I'm good at it because that's my career, right? So, excellent points today, Diamond, as always. Excellent points as always. Saying that, you would watch a video on how to bend conduit. There are there's several of them on YouTube already. There are some very good electrician channels on YouTube. And I wish I had the pictures. I've done some conduit runs that I'm pretty proud of. Back in the day when I was doing construction, I ran some conduit racks that I was pretty proud of. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Maybe I do make a video on how to bend conduit. I don't know. It's not really woodshop related. Maybe I start a third channel. How about that? Should I start a third channel? rbPlays Gaming, The Weekend Woodshop. What's the name of the electrician channel? What's the name of the electrician channel? Oh, there was a hitch and a giddy up on the YouTube stream. I just saw it. Just saw it. And I can see 3 real strong dips in performance on the Twitch stream in the last 15 minutes. Yeah, I think the problem here is meld. How to not get zapped by RB. Yeah. Yeah. How to not get zapped. Y'all, I was seriously disappointed. I was seriously one of the spots where I want to put where I need to put a box for the drill press. There's already a light switch there that controls the outside light outside of the garage. It's a big motion light that's up above the 2 garage doors. And I know for a fact that Rayco, which I think now is owned by Hubble, that Rayco used to make a 4-square electrical box with 1/2 and 3/4 inch knockouts all the way around the Arby's Home Adventures. Maybe. With 1/2 and 3/4 knockouts all the way around it. And then in the back, it had a single gang box cutout that you could just mount to an existing switch box. All of the... Oh, ads are getting ready to start in about a minute. Nobody's played the air horn yet, but it'll be coming here in a second, I'm sure. But I can't find them anywhere. Like I take that back. I can find them, but they're expensive. There it is. Diamond Anvil.
Warning, ads inbound. Warning, ads
So if you're on
inbound.
Twitch, ads are coming up in about 30 seconds. If you want to continue watching ad-free, you can go over to YouTube. And then come back in 3 minutes. But yeah, I wanted one of these boxes and I can't get one. I can't find one, at least not convenient. So now I'm going to have to do something different. But anyway, we'll let this ad break take place, and I'll come back to you guys in just a few minutes. See you soon. Be right back.
Warning, ads inbound. Warning, ads inbound.
And we should be back. How's everybody doing? Did you get a refill on your snacks? I'm going to pull an Etho here and ask you about your snacks. Y'all, have you been paying attention to Mumbo? Not necessarily his Hermitcraft episodes, but his, like Redstone videos lately. I posted a couple of them in the Discord. Well, posted one for sure in the Discord. He has been doing some great stuff with animations using Redstone. Holy cow. I mean, for a vanilla mechanic, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. I watched that video that he put out a few days ago. I watched it yesterday on making a 3x3 door that looks like it's being controlled by gears. Holy crap, y'all. If you haven't seen it yet, I posted it in the link share on our Discord. It's great. It's great. Like, I want to make something like that. And it's not Create. It's not the Create mod. It's just vanilla. It's just vanilla using observers and piston feed tapes. And it's awesome. It's awesome. It's so good. Been watching a little bit more Hermitcraft the last couple of weeks. I don't know how I feel about this whole exile thing. I do applaud Zombie Cleo for riding a horse across the nether roof for 4 days. Just to get back to spawn. 3 million blocks. 3 million blocks in 4 days. I love the fact that the Zuma is just bouncing back and forth between Exile and the main Hermitcraft area as an entrepreneur. He's got shops set out there, but it doesn't matter because it's outside of the permits, and so it doesn't matter. I love it. I finally caught up with all of Skiz's episodes, so I'm up to date on that. I'm waiting to see if Joel puts out a video, Smallish Beans. I'm waiting to see if he puts out a video today because Skiz and Scar were trying to exile him. I don't know if they succeeded or not. I think they did, but I don't know if they succeeded or not. And I'm curious to see what Joel's going to do if he does get exiled. And then B-dubs, just being B-dubs. Holy cow. That nether... That nether hub that he's going to be building, if his teaser is anything remotely close to what that nether hub is going to look like, it is going to be spectacular. Again, that link for that video is in the link share on our Discord as well. Does anybody else miss Mindcrack? Like, I stopped watching all of the Mindcrack guys after B-dubs and Etho and Doc and all them left. And you haven't heard anything from any of them. At least I haven't. I know that there's a few of them that still put out videos, but it's definitely not the same. I kind of wish there were other... Okay. Back to our content creation conversation. Part of my problem, part of my issue is that everything that I do is in a single player world. There's nobody to build content off of. Right? It's just me. I would love to be able to find a server I'd love to be able to find a server where people are active enough. I'm not saying that people have to be on there every single day, because people have lives. Not saying that people have to be on there every single day, but to be able to find a server where people are creating content, they're interacting with each other, and it's going well. I have a feeling that if I had something like that available to me, it might be easier for me to make a little bit of content. Maybe. I also watched Wells's last video. I don't know if you're a big Wells Night fan. I know some of you aren't as fond of Wells as maybe I am, and I'm not a huge Wells fan, but I would encourage you all to show him some love. He's been going through some stuff. Including he is separated and now is divorced from his now ex-wife. But he has some issues. I'm not going to go into all the details. It's not my story to tell. If you want to know more about it, obviously go watch his latest Hermitcraft episode. But he could use some support. Don't get me wrong. Wells has got a great community, and I know that they've got him. But we're all in this together, right? We're all in this together. High School Musical. We're all in this together. Shh, don't tell anybody I just did that. Not a whole lot more to talk about today. Maybe a couple things. So we might not go until 11. But what are you guys watching? Mrs. RB and I are wrapping up watching Supernatural again. I haven't watched every episode. I've seen many. We're in season 13 now. We also need to get back to Blacklist. We were real gung-ho on watching Blacklist for a while there, and then we kind of stopped. We're in season 3 of Game of Thrones. Yeah, we're in season 3 of Game of Thrones. And then the only other thing that we've watched recently that's worth mentioning is that might be it. I watch a lot of YouTube content. I got lots of things that play in the background while I'm at work, sitting there designing parts in the 3D modeling softwares. I've been using, I said I was trying to learn FreeCAD, and I still am, but I got to tell y'all, Fusion 360 is so much easier than FreeCAD. It's so much easier. I've gotten adept. Stranger Things on Wednesday, yeah. Stranger Things 5 is going to be coming out soon-ish, and also Wednesday. Wednesday season 2 is going to be coming out sometime this year. I'm curious to find out what the status is of Sandman. GIMP versus Photoshop, yeah, right. You can, and to that same in that same vein, Adobe Premiere versus either DaVinci Resolve or like a Kdenlive Live. I'm a little bit disappointed though. Sandman. Back to Sandman. Like, I know we're going to get another season of Sandman. They're either recording it or have wrapped up recording it. So it's either in production or it's in post-production, one of the two. But the other show that my wife and I were really into was Bad Boy Detectives or Dead Boy Detectives, which is a spin-off. Like it had Death from Sandman in it, the Angel of Death. What are they called? They're called Eternals? No. What are they called? Oh, what are they called? Can't remember what they're called now. It'll come to me. But anyway, basically Sandman's sister, Angel of Death kind of thing. But Dead Boy Detectives was really good, and they decided to cancel it, which that's unfortunate. D&D, obviously, Campaign 3 of Critical Role wrapped up, so I'm going through... I'll tell you what, if I've heard... I haven't seen the Minecraft movie yet. It just came out yesterday, right? I think it just came out yesterday. Was it yesterday? I feel like it was yesterday. Haven't seen it yet. Probably not going to see it in the theater. We don't go to the movie theater. I want to see it. And I want to see it for the same reasons that I wanted to see the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, because I feel like it's going to be gloriously horrible. But then I was surprised because that Batman movie with Pattinson in it was not horrible. It was a good movie. Wait for the streaming. It was the advice. Yeah. Like we don't go to movie theaters anymore. We just don't go to movie theaters anymore. It's so expensive to go see a movie. Like just for me and my wife to go see a movie, you're looking at $50, you know? And that's a lot. Obviously there's times of day when the prices are different and all that, but usually we can't go at those times. So we haven't been to see a movie in the theater since Star Wars Phantom Menace? I feel like it's Phantom Menace. But it may have been... It may have been Revenge of the Sith. I can't remember now, but it's been a while. The Minecraft movie isn't worth the investment for the theater seats. Perfect. Good to know. So I do want to see it, but I'm going to wait. Some movies are worth it. Okay. I can believe that. I'll tell you one movie I'm not going to go see. Snow White. There's so much controversy around that movie. I'm just not going to go see it. We'll probably watch it on a streaming service at some point, but I'm not going to go see it. The other movie, what was it? One of the kids was just asking about it the other day. Oh, if you're into Disney stuff, like one of the best cartoons ever made was Phineas and Ferb. They're going to have a new season of Phineas and Ferb. But you're going to have to be on Disney Plus to see it probably, which we are not. I told my kids, where there's a will, there may be a way. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Electric State was not expecting much. It was not as bad as the reviews. Okay, you know, that is absolutely something. One of the movies that got the worst raps ever was Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman years ago when it came out. And of course, it's Robin Hood as an adult, right? Or not Robin Hood, Peter Pan. Peter Pan as an adult. It got awful reviews, but it is arguably one of the best movies ever made. It is arguably one of the best movies ever made. If you have never seen Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman, you really do need to see it. But it was absolutely blasted by the critics. Kryptonite is Ishtar, only movie I have ever walked out of. Okay, sure. I've never walked out of a movie. I've thought about it a couple of times, but I've never walked out of a movie. I'm like, nope, I'm here. I'm in the seat. We're playing this through to the end. But again, haven't been to a movie in 15 years, 14 years. It's been a long time. We went to, like I paid good money for this. Whether I love it or hate it, I'm going to finish it. The last movie, so we saw Phantom Menace before we moved down here, and we've been to the movie theaters one time down here. So it obviously couldn't have been it wasn't Phantom Menace. Anyway, Ishtar broke you? Yeah. I don't want to get into the whole political thing about Snow White, but the starring actress, like, you have opinions. Hey, Kalwinder Singh is over on YouTube watching. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. Hope you are enjoying the content. I get it. The story of Snow White has its issues, right? The story of Snow White has its issues. And from a 2025 perspective, the story doesn't necessarily age well. It can borderline be a little bit creepy, predatory, etc. when it comes to relationships. But to absolutely trash, badmouth the original movie that put Disney on the map, I don't know that that's the right thing to do from a professional perspective, you know? I don't know that that's the right thing to do. I don't know that's the right way to go about it. So I will not be watching Snow White. But I am excited about a couple of things. There's going to be You love my warm welcomes and my energy. Well, thank you. I try to make it so that people enjoy being around. You joined us in an off week where we're not doing any gaming content. This is our just chatting stream. Yes, everybody is allowed to be wrong. That's a perfect point, Diamond. Everybody's allowed to be wrong. And when someone is wrong, you learn from it and you move on. But Kalwinder, am I saying that right? I hope I'm saying that right. You picked us up in an off week. Once a month, we do a just chatting stream where we just talk about anything and everything. And then next Saturday, we'll be back to our Minecraft content. So hope to see you back. But yeah, everybody's allowed to be wrong. And it's not my job to fix your wrongness. And it's not your job to fix my wrongness. It's my job to fix my wrongness. And sometimes people just are never gonna figure it out. We can point out the wrongness of someone, and we can try to help them understand maybe why that's wrong in certain arenas or in certain context. But the work is up to the individual. I'm very much against the whole cancel culture thing. I'm very much against that. But again, that's a realm that we don't necessarily need to get into today. I'm excited. I'm absolutely kind of excited that there's going to be another James Bond movie. I've been kind of following that the last couple of weeks too. You know, Amazon bought the rights to the James Bond universe from the family that owned it, and they're moving forward on a new James Bond movie, which is awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. What other headlines have I followed here lately that might be good? Oh man, what is all that? Oh, okay, we already knew about that. Lots of political headlines in my feed. We're not going to talk about those. There's Snow White. We're not going to talk about that. Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time season 3 is out. How will I feel if James is less misogynistic? I think that's long overdue. I think the womanizer persona is very cliche. I think in the 1950s, 1960s, and even early 1970s, I think that played well. I don't think that plays well anymore. James Bond is a spy, and he is the spy's spy, right? Like he is, when you think of espionage, if you don't immediately think of James Bond, then, you know, what are you doing with your life? But the misogyny / womanizing part of the James Bond persona, I don't know that you need that anymore. There's other ways that you can make James Bond be just a badass spy and not, he'll be canceled if he isn't. I don't know. Maybe. Musician over on YouTube. Hello to you as well. In today's climate. Yeah. Like if they don't get rid of that character trait in James Bond, then absolutely. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I want to say that I got to say, I'm absolutely ecstatic that there are new people watching over on YouTube. That doesn't happen. So we multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube, and we do it every week. And the fact that we have multiple people watching over on YouTube right now, that's fantastic. Is it family friendly? Yes. Kind of. I don't go out of my way to be family friendly, but I also don't go out of my way to not. I think we could just be cordial with each other. Try not to excessively use questionable words. Try to keep the topics, like not politically charged, not derogatory. So hopefully that helps. Oh, well, thank you. And by the way, if you are watching over there, do like Musician and Diamond Anvil have said, and click the like button. That tells YouTube to tell other people that, hey, this guy might be worth watching. Wheel of Time. I haven't started watching season 3 yet, but apparently season 3 is out. And I'm super excited about that. I'll have to tell Mrs. RB that it's out because I'm sure she hasn't noticed yet. She likes to watch that one too. So that'll be another thing that we're going to start watching again. I'm cautiously optimistic about The Witcher. New season of The Witcher is in the works. You've got a YouTube channel too? Well, I'm sure that if anybody wants to take a look at it, they'll click on your name and find it. but we don't necessarily promote. But good luck. Good luck with your YouTube channel. It takes a long time to build up an audience. I mean, I'm still working on mine. I need to make more content. But there's a lot of people that are talking about season 3 of Wheel of Time just feels different. So I'm curious to see what that's all about. You got 7 subs? I mean, you got to start somewhere. I remember when I had 7 subs. I remember my first sub. He's dead now. I was at work. I was teaching an electrician class. And I told everybody I was going to start a YouTube channel. And the guy was like, well, if you make it live, I'll subscribe. And he did. And he died. I did not kill him. He actually died in a car accident. He finished up the training class and went back to work in Pennsylvania for a couple of years, and then I try to keep in touch with many of the students that I have over time. And one of the other people that worked with him back in Pennsylvania messaged me one day and said, "Hey, did you hear about so-and-so?" I said, "No, what happened?" And he said, "Well, he was killed in a car accident." So, unfortunate. Similar scenario to Paul Walker. You just never know, right? You never know when it's going to happen. But keep the faith, musician. What kind of content do you make? He was shocked at how good my channel was. Maybe. What kind of content do you create? Do you do gaming videos? I see your name is musician. Do you do music stuff? Like, what do you do? Cars. That's what we should regulate. They're dangerous. I mean, we do kind of regulate them. You make music. Okay, very good. Very good. That is a... Hello? Hello? I heard things. I heard things in my ear holes. I don't know where it came from, though. I see nothing. Anyway. Oh, we're coming up on ads. Oh,
Warning.
no.
Ads inbound.
Wait, what?
Warning.
Why are there ads now?
Ads inbound.
Are there ads coming up? No. We've still got 20 minutes before the ads show up. My middle offspring also does music. Oh, you had to fart. Okay. So there's no ads coming yet. We are gonna end the stream before the next round of ads come up, though, which is in about 20-ish minutes. But you do the keyboard, okay? So a little bit of piano. That's piano. My middle kid, he plays guitar and bass and some drums. Well, I have to end it at some time. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, no, make music, had to fart. Oh, I see what happened. Unable to refresh your authorization token. Are you freaking kidding me? We lost YouTube chat. We lost YouTube chat on the stream. And we won't be able to get it back. Unable to refresh your token. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. That's the other thing that I'm stressing out about a little bit here. So those of you who are watching on... Quick, we can talk about anything. Those of you who are talking over on YouTube, please carry that on. I can see it over here. Just the people on stream won't be able to see it. StreamerBot has decided that it wants to disconnect from YouTube. Great. What's my Twitch? rbPlays. Same. Twitch.com/RB_plays. I was talking about something. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what we were talking about. You need a monster? I still have 2 dues that I haven't even opened yet. I bring several down here just in case. This is my first one of the day. I've been nursing that for an hour and a half. Hydrate. Water. We shall use water. Now that's some high quality H2O. Or my name is Bobby Boucher. What was I talking about? I got distracted by the fact that StreamerBot is being dumb. Earlier today, I feel like I just said, I run Windows because everything just kind of works and I don't have to worry about workarounds and all that for running things on Linux. And then StreamerBot decides to disconnect from YouTube. Like, really? Bummer. Not saying a word. I mean, Diamond, you and I know that there is a Linux master race, right? That, like, Linux is up here, and it really is better than Windows, except when it isn't, you know? Bummer. Well, y'all, I've got stuff to do today. I'm getting hungry. All I've had for breakfast was a banana. I had a banana. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and call the stream here so that I can get some other stuff done. I do need to run a little bit more conduit out in the shop. I have a 90 degree that's coming up out of a junction box, and I need to probably put a little kick offset in it and get it secured to the ceiling and tied into another box that's going to run down the main. I mean, it is a content opportunity, but I'm not recording it. Musician, I know, I'm sorry, but I have to. I have to. Besides, I'm getting hungry, y'all. It's almost lunchtime for me. I'm getting hungry. But we will come back next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channels. Hopefully I'll have the whole stuttering thing worked out, because next week we're using Meld Studio this week for streaming. I think next week we're going to go and we're going to go back to OBS just to see if the whole stuttering issue goes away, which I believe it's going to. I feel like there are some optimizations. It's 3:36 in the afternoon. Oh, you're a European. Okay. It's 10:36 here. I usually eat at 11. But I also have some other stuff I've got to square away before I can make my lunch. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm not stuttering. The words that are coming out of my mouth seem to be consistent and with good enunciation and so forth. But the video, I'm looking at my Twitch feed right here at my signal feed right here, and it's not great. Stream health. It says my stream is healthy on YouTube. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big dips in transfer rate in the last 15 minutes. That's not good. And I have a feeling that it's Meld Studio that's doing it. I have a feeling. Nope. There it went over on YouTube. It just stuttered a little bit over there. But anyway, I love you all. I love you all to pieces. I don't think it's Windows updates. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing any of that. But thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it very much. If you like the stream, you know what to do. If you're over on YouTube, get subscribed. Hit the like button. Do all the things. Make sure you turn your notification bells on. Get notified every time we go live. Over here on Twitch, hit the follow button. Get notified every time we go live, which is every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll come back. We'll do this again next week. Next week, we will be back to gaming content. We're going to be back in our All the Mods 9 world. All the Mods 9. Be back in our All the Mods 9 world doing more stuff with probably Extreme Reactors. Yes, thank you to the people stopping by over on the YouTube channel. Calwinder Singh and Musician, thanks for watching. All of you here on the Twitch channel who are my regulars, Darth E. Curb, Diamond Anvil, etc., etc., etc. I love you guys to pieces as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Anybody else in there that hasn't really... Oops, that's not what I wanted. Anybody else in there that I hadn't paid attention to? Lord Roden is in the chat. He just hasn't said anything. He's lurking. Love your Lord. Love your Roden. But anyway... Thank you all. I love you to pieces. We'll come back. We'll do this again next Saturday. You are all invited. But until then, get off my lawn. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.